That is my boy. Man, fucking, I'm going to get the phone. What up, D-Razzle in the house for Hood-approved reviews. I'm joined by the ruthless one, producer Todd.
Yo, what's
You
up?
look
I don't
like
know
you're
what I
having
don't know.
You look like you're having a wonderful day. It's good in the hood. You look great. You sound great. I'm ready for this show, Todd.
I'm excited to see if any of these films meet the high hood standard of our own D-Razzle tonight. You know.
Well, D-Razzle's gotta break it down for you because we're not doing. I haven't even talked to you about this, but we're not doing a traditional star scale. Oh no, we are rating tonight 0 iced teas to 5 iced teas. Yes.
That will not be a thing.
The 5 will just be called the Long Island iced tea. Are you nixing that too?
Yeah, I am absolutely nixing that right from the top, Dan. I will not let your iced tea obsession overtake Hood approved.
Okay. Well, you know what? But
I will allow you to rate it out of 40s, but I'm definitely iced teas. No.
Okay, so 0 to 5 40s is what we're. That is what the official rating, or Easy E's. I know you're not going to complain about that.
Well,
0 out of 5 easies.
Well, then you're going to make this scale a lot harder for me. No, we're not. No 4 to 5, whatever. I don't care.
Right. All right, we'll stick old school. That's fine. Fine.
You can, surprise me. You tell me what is 4 out of 5s at the end.
All right. Well, you're getting ambitious that we're going to have 4s and 5s, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, guys.
Oh, wait, did I say that?
Hood-approved reviews. It's not going to just cover one genre. Tonight we are doing horror, but you could see anything on Hood-approved reviews. We've got a lot of these fun little concepts that we're playing with. I know we're going to have a Los Angeles themed show coming soon, which will also be cross-genre. Just stuff where LA is like a character.
We have a very good question. Ben Grimm asks, is this rating on how hood the movie is or how good the movie is? I will give you both ratings.
Okay, I will too.
Right.
Since I'm the final judge on that. So yes, the final boss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hood approved.
I'm about to fucking make the Hatman diss track. Fuck all that fucking. I can't even. Yeah.
I was looking into how to put Blink. My head already has Blink.
I already named it. It's Hat 'em Up. Done.
Hat 'em Up. Okay. There we go.
That's a play on the Tupac song "Hit 'em Up."
I know that, Todd. How dare you question me, Todd, with my knowledge of the rap? I know the rap, Todd. I've been in this game for years, Todd. I know the rap.
I studied here. We at least need a black person with this B-Razzle nonsense.
D-Razzle. D-Razzle.
Oh, sorry.
Put some respect on that name.
Oh, my bad. Are you doing a new album with Dirty D anytime soon?
Fuck yeah, I am. Is that the Cannibal? I don't remember.
No, Dirty D would be your favorite film director.
Oh, okay. Well,
all right. Well, drop the diss track.
Diss track coming soon. I don't know. Oh.
Okay.
I'm going to save it for episode 2, but I have a brilliant idea. But guys, tonight we are discussing masterpieces of hood cinema. And we're going to kick it off. No Boys in the Hood. No, nothing like that.
Is that the other one you know, Dan?
That's not. Fuck you, Todd. I have Belly on 4K, motherfucker. I know them all.
I don't. Fuck that East Coast shit. Oh yeah. If there is a movie you want to make Dan watch, and that is a good film, yeah, please.
Juice, Todd.
No,
Juice
film.
Absolutely, Juice. Don't be a menace
in October.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, or as I call the Juice films.
Jesus Christ.
We have Juiced, the O.J. Simpson TV show. That doesn't count because it's not a movie.
South Central for sure. That's a good one. Slashers bringing up. I'm about it. I was telling Dan about this on the other show. Yeah, I'm about it's happening. Dan's about to be about it, and rowdy.
Fuck yeah. Just like my old buddy K Dog used to say. And
Oh,
all that good stuff. But yes. So allow me to take you into the hood with our first feature of the evening, 2001's Hood Rat from director Leslie Small. This currently is not streaming anywhere. So at
so
least
what
that's
better time to review it?
what better. Well, you can still get the physical DVD. It is out
This
there.
is.
So there you go. That's what you're looking for. So in Hood Rat, and it's got a terrible description on the DVD, but I'm gonna run it down anyways. So the terror begins when one man, a malevolent force, systematically stalks his victims and holds them hostage in a relentless quest for vengeance. So to elaborate on that a little bit, Isaiah Washington plays Max, a kind kind of just sweet natured homeless man who has a crush on this woman named Nina, I believe it was, and he's dealing with this. He's living in the basement of this slumlord's compound. Whose name he's a oh god, I cannot say his fucking name to save my life, but he's a slumlord who has just been ordered by the courts that he has to spend I believe it was a night or a week or something in his own slum. So this movie follows a bunch of eccentric characters in this building as they deal with a rat infestation. So Max basically is being beaten down, taken advantage of by Ice-T, who's like the right-hand man for the slumlord. And he befriends a rat named Tara, which is literally a rat backwards. That was the original title. But, in marketing, they just looked at it and it's like, nah, Tara doesn't sell, pal. Hood rat.
You know it sells. Hood rat sell.
Hood
Who
rat.
doesn't love a hood rat?
We could have spelled it with a Z. Hood rats.
Well,
like some other movies.
That's another film.
That would have been the sequel if they could still afford Isaiah Washington after this. But yeah, so basically in a nutshell, this is Willard in the hood. In fact, there's direct references to Willard because at one point when he's befriending the rat, he's like, I'll call you Ben. And it's like, I thought that was funny. So we kicked this movie off. I popped because I forgot about this. I haven't watched this movie in a very long time. I had seen it before. Uncredited, but we have Miguel Nunez Jr. as a rat catcher at the beginning of this, which I totally forgot. His character name is JD Loco. And and he is fucking hilarious in this opening scene. Basically the John Goodman arachnophobia. He gets the cool opening, and I popped for that. I completely forgot that he was even in this because again, he was uncredited, which I would love to know if he got pissed or something because he was covered in real rats. That's the interesting thing about this era. So this is 2001. I don't know when they shot it, but 2001, we're really just about a year or two, a couple years into the CGI creature boom for Sci-Fi Channel. And this is still like kind of has some roots in those older films where it's like we actually get a lot of practical rats in this movie. We get to see people covered by the real deal. Now you wouldn't see this at all. It would just be all like CG rats all over the place. So I kind of appreciated this being somewhat of a relic at this point during that changeover where it just became all like CG and increasingly ridiculous CG.
The one thing that I was like, oh, with these digital camera moves done in post, I can't. They're so that like tiny era of filmmaking. It lasted for maybe a couple years, but oh god, it just like is such a like nailed to that time. I was like, oh god, these enough with it. I get it. You guys figured out how to use your digital zoom. Jesus Christ. Every shot doesn't need it.
Yeah, some of the sped up stuff, and yeah, like, but I don't know. I was still kind of like, I'm preferring a lot of this over.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that was like
Yeah,
it's very distinct and very yeah, it is it's like a throwback to see it. I'm not like, oh, I didn't hate it because of it or anything like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And the other cool thing in this is, I want to say I'm not a Law and Order SVU guy, but Ice-T either would have just started or he was a year or two out from starting on that show at this time. So he actually has a pretty big part in this. He would go on to great success on that show. He's still on the fucking thing, as far as I know. Isaiah Washington went on to do, I think, Grey's Anatomy, I believe. So they both had huge TV success. So this is like just that weird little B movie that they did. Well, not a breakout in Ice-T's case, but I guess a breakout in Isaiah Washington.
I don't think he'd consider this a breakout. It's just happened to be in before he got famous.
After this is the breakout. I'm sure Isaiah Washington would just look at you funny if you even suggested that he was in like this Willard in the Hood movie. But I like this movie, Todd. I had a lot of fun with it. Like,
I do. It's simple. It's an urban Willard. I mean, if you like Willard, it's one of those. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I mean, it's not a great film. It's a fun film. And I don't know. Maybe it feels East Coast. Maybe that's why it doesn't connect to me as much as some material.
it's
But
Atlanta.
yeah. But I mean, it doesn't feel. It's more projects than Hood for me. I think that's my thing. It feels more that.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's a little different experience. I don't, for me.
I think what makes this unique is it's like it's playing it serious at times, but then it's not afraid to have a little bit of fun. But for the most part, I mean, it is trying to be a relatively serious like Willard kind of remake. But I still think those moments like where they put the rat in the sandwich and different things like that, it's hard not to laugh at it. The the whole like Judge Judy type court proceeding with the slumlord, I thought was really funny. Ice-T's not that threatening in this though. Like, he's the rent collector, but he's kind of just like
He's kind of goofy. Like,
he is, yeah. He's like, I think he knew. Like, I'm sure he's like reading this, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna get like intense Ice-T in this. I'm just gonna be chilled Ice-T.
Yeah,
like, I still think it's pretty effective covering people in real rats. I'm surprised Miguel Nunez did that.
He just gave me a couple enchiladas.
Couple enchiladas. That's what they stuffed in his pants so the rats would swarm him.
Slasher on video says Ice-T is a douche in this. Yeah, he kind of is, but that's the point.
Yeah, he's a douche. Although he could be worse. I mean, nobody really respected him when he's.
Like, I think maybe that's the problem. He was too much. He was kind of a bitch in this. So. I want hard Ice-T.
I thought it was funny when Max has to watch the girl like banging her abusive ex, and they had like that romantic music playing. This one just has some subtly hilarious moments. Yet at the same time, you can see Isaiah Washington's a great actor. I'm sure. I swear he's another one. I've joked about this before, but I will somehow bring like a Hood Rat poster. I don't think it fucking exists, but I will check eBay and I will find one, or I'll make it happen.
2000,
to have him sign it.
2001, 2002. There probably was a video store poster.
I would think so, although I don't remember seeing it. So
Yeah.
that's like, I feel like I would, and I have no memory of it. But the movie is funny. Like, there's some serious moments where the guy in the wheelchair is like just somehow turns into an ice cube. I guess I don't think Atlanta ever gets that cold,
But
but
that was get it. It turned into an ice cube.
there you go. There you go. Bravo, Tad. Pat yourself on the back, Todd. That's hilarious.
I thought that was intentional.
No, I just thought that was funny when he's like, how the fuck? It's never that cold that you would turn it, like you would just freeze by being outside like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just some of the reactions. I think the fact that it is playing it straight makes some of those ridiculous moments hit even better for me. Um, um, some of the rat POV stuff, again, I get it. Like the digital editing, it doesn't
Yeah.
work great, but
Ben
Ben
says the poster would only be in the Barrio video stores. You know, if that's the case, I definitely would have saw one.
right next to Urban Menace around the same
Oh
time.
man, me and my homeboy Melta, that was our jam. There was Urban Menace. What was the other one? There was another one at the same time, man.
Urban Menace, Corrupt. Albert Pune was doing a lot of these movies. Now, this is, as far as like production value, this is head and shoulders above a lot of that stuff. This is not like the rappers shooting an entire movie like by their pool.
Unfortunately, it's not, but we still had fun.
You had like Fat Joe did a bunch, Corrupt, Slick the Shock, Silk the Shocker did a bunch.
Shocker.
He did a few. Master P, of course.
See, see, those are all the ones who went on to make low budget movies. I want the hood movies, the early stuff. That's the good stuff. That's the money.
Oh, sure. But we got a lot of crappy ones too. So.
Yes. We'll definitely get Dan in on about it so he can hang out with K-Dog again.
Some of the deaths in this are hilarious too, like the electrocution. There's a scene. Now, these are minor spoilers because you can't really spoil a movie like this, but there's a scene where Satan, I believe is the character's name. So he's in this truck and the rats start swarming him. And his solution is just like, I'm going to just light myself on fire. And I'm thinking like, motherfucker, why don't you just light the car, pour the gas in the car and go out the door? Maybe you get a few bites, but you know, it makes no sense for him to like light himself on fire. Like, I was like, what are we doing here? This is so stupid. Stupid in a glorious way, though. I really enjoyed it because this movie is not aware that it's being funny. It's just a happy accident, like The Room. This movie at times is just a happy accident because they're not trying to be ridiculous.
Slasher says that was Satan was the best character. He went out like a boss.
Yeah, but he didn't have to.
See, Ben gets it. You have to go out on your feet, Dan. Hood glory.
There's no glory in lighting yourself on fire, but
you tell that to Michael Jackson. I know he didn't light himself on fire. It's like the Vikings can only go to hood heaven if you go out fighting. See, Ben gets it.
I'm not saying retreat. Like, I think
Ben should have proved.
Open the door and just then light it up. I mean, you know, you don't have to light yourself on fire. Light the car up, you know, run. Like, you're going to get bit a little bit. I don't know. Just my opinion. It's a nice fire stunt too, old school fire stunt. Something else you don't see in B movies. Like, there's none of this. There's no stuntmen flying through the air. There's no people being lit on fire. Sometimes the simple stuff still works. And I like that this is just really that tail end where, I mean, I swear, even by like 02, 03, you really didn't see a movie like this. In fact, you can kind of see a different kind of movie, but the second one we're reviewing feels like, even though it's only a couple years later, it belongs in a totally different era. This is, you know, Leprechaun, and not saying it's as good, but Leprechaun in the Hood, you know, that kind of turnover era.
Before we rate it, I was going to talk a little bit about Ice-T. I know Dan's getting excited.
I am. Yes.
I didn't realize he was 66 when I was pulling some notes for it. But yeah, 66 is I knew he began, rapping in the 80s. His first album, Rhyme Pays, was 87. Which my cousins were listening to Ice-T. I didn't really do. It wasn't until 91 when he released OG. I mean, the Colors I was bumping, but I had the soundtrack, the Colors, but like the first Ice-T album, like Colors, yeah, Colors is awesome song and movie. But 91 OG, Original Gangster, that was a big album for me. That was like still my favorite Ice-T album. One of the only albums I've ever had that came out with the home video companion that had every one of the songs made into a music video, like everyone.
Wow!
So some are a little easier than a little more basic than others, but yeah. So that summer of '91, I was fucking all about OG, and it was my introduction to Body Count, which was most people's because they had the one Body Count song on there, and I checked out Body Count because of Ice-T, but like it's one of the only non-rap genre groups I listened to in that era. But I mean, everyone knows the Cop Killer controversy, so I don't really need to go on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was like huge,
yeah.
huge back then. Holy shit. He was Public Enemy #1 for a minute. Like,
yeah, I still, yeah. I made sure to
get Panic and Ice-T killing the youth.
But yeah, I mean, there's tons of Ice-T hits. I named Colors and then this album, but two later albums that I do recommend checking out. It's 1996 Ice-T 6 Return of the Real. I'm a Stan's a great song. There's a bunch of good stuff on this one. This is late 90s, sounds a little more a little, you can hear the influence of the late 90s starting to get in there. But 1999's the Seventh Deadly Sins.
Is that his last one? Because he just stopped, right?
No, that is his last rap album. He has songs after
in movies. I know.
No. There's albums. No, this was 99 was his last album. He did come out with ones later, but that was like the last one from like he took a long break and he was doing Body Count and he's doing acting. He still dropped songs like, but yeah, not really albums. But I do think there is an album after 99. But the Seventh Deadly Sin, yeah, there's some really good tracks. I Always Want to Be a Hoe. I very much recommend that one. No, it's a great song. But yeah, all right, there's my Ice-T little story. I don't know, Dan. I know you're a fan of his film work. So
I have fond memories of going to see Surviving the Game in the theater. Tank Girl, of course. I got a signed Tank Girl poster. I need to add Ice-T to it at some point.
Can we pour gasoline on that and have it light itself?
No, it wouldn't need to sacrifice itself, Tad.
All right. So now that we've talked about Ice-T, what are you going to rate the film?
I just wanted to close with it's bizarre thinking that he's almost my parents' age.
Really?
That you just don't think of him as old. That's just what I'm saying. It's like it's weird. It makes total sense. I mean, he released his first album when I was 1, so like it totally makes sense. But I just don't see him as an old man. It's weird. It's bizarre.
Ice-T's a weird one. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
A lot of my nostalgia has to do with the movies, although I did listen to his music, but
yeah, like other than that, like the only album that is 100% beginning to end I can listen to is OG. But it's funny because he regrets naming that album that now, because he wasn't really like people associated with the gangster, but he was more that player type rhymes, pimping stuff. So it was different. It was. So he kind of like, for a minute, he didn't like that he named the album that. Didn't dislike the album, but I thought that was interesting.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. That was huge.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tad. So I've seen a lot of things thrown out in the chat. I'm not going to rate it on a scale of Bad Babies. Maybe I don't know. Would that work for the? Because we're rating it normal, and then we're rating it on the hood scale. So we'll
No,
see if
it's not rating it on hood scale. How hood is it?
How hood is it? Okay. So Todd, I will let you go first on this one.
As a film itself, it's a good time. I give it 3.5 out of 5. And on the hood scale, and this just because maybe an LA thing, I'm low on this one. I'm a 2. It's not very hood. It's good. Not saying anything bad about the film, but it doesn't feel hood to me.
Well, it can be hood and be in Atlanta, Chad, but you got to make everything East Coast versus West Coast. So
Atlanta's not in the East or the West, so go figure, Dan.
Well, it's still kind of East Coast.
It's in the South, Dan. The goddamn South.
Okay, but there's
Take your Master P and your South got some good music. I ain't hating on the South.
Okay, don't hate the South.
Pimp C, UGK, all that good shit.
All right.
Okay, well,
so, movie. We gotta rate the damn thing. The movie I am at 3.5. It's well above average for quite a bit above for this type of movie, which obviously isn't for everybody, but it's a lot of fun, really well acted, and it just made me laugh. How hood is it? I would say it's pretty hood. I'm gonna say it is a 4 in terms of how hood it is. So it gets 4 iced teas, bad babies, whatever you want to, whatever your man.
No, the first one should be out of whatever it is. The hood scale is the hood scale. The other one, you can make up something funny, Dan.
Okay, so 3.5 iced teas.
There you go. See?
Yes. And if you ever get a 5, it's the Long Island.
He should have went 3.5 Cocos if he was smart, but he went iced teas.
Coco's pretty hot. Coco's pretty hot. Iced tea's a lucky man. At least last I saw. I don't know what she's looking like these days. But all right. So that's Hood Rat.
And I'm not saying Ice T's like reality show made him less hood to me either, but it kind of did.
Once you start doing movies,
no. The movies don't matter because that's acting. The reality show, Him at Home with Coco, while it is work, that's the image people are going to take of you.
But here's my question for you. Had Tupac not have died, he probably would have done Disney movies.
He probably wouldn't have. He was a militant person. No, that's the thing.
What about Ice Cube? Ice Cube did all the Goofy Kids movies.
But he was not the same thing as Tupac. That's a totally different animal.
He might have for the money, Todd.
No, nope, we'll save that for when we get to a movie that has Tupac.
Okay. We will do that because I don't know how you could say for sure. He also needed a lot of money towards the end. So
that's a lie that's been perpetrated.
Well, there was the contract. I know a little bit about this. There was the contract.
Save it for the Tupac one whenever we do a Tupac movie. Dan.
All right. So we'll have the Tupac special. We'll do that and we'll review. I'll come up with concepts for movies that he would have made.
Well, like if we do Tupac, we're definitely doing like Gridlocked and like Bullet. Some of the ones people don't. Those are the ones to cover. Not Gridlock, like Juice. I mean, Juice is obviously fun to talk about, but I mean, like those are like the ones people don't talk about. So
yeah, I don't know what it is with Gridlocked. I mean, Tim Roth, but yeah, you don't really hear.
Gang Related's another one too. Above the Rim's awesome. That's like one of the ones like Juice, Above the Rim. People like know, and Poetic Justice. Those are the 3 people know.
Yeah. It's interesting too. Like such a short time making movies. Like nothing but trouble count. Are we throwing that in there?
Yeah, I absolutely consider it a screen debut. But see, that wouldn't work for Hood Approved, Dan. It's just if you're getting the idea, it doesn't.
You're just in a very weird hood. It doesn't work. No Chevy Chase on Hood Approved. I understand. Yeah, all right. Demi Moore would be.
Dan, this isn't just people you want to bet. All right.
I'm sure
she is 100% a cave bitch. No.
That's G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane would be approved. All right. So up next, we have a a potentially hood approved slasher movie from 2003 and writer director Timothy Wayne Folsom, Cutthroat Alley. So Timothy Wayne Folsom's urban horror film Cutthroat Alley features a mass serial killer who slits the throats of each of his victims in the hood of South Central Los Angeles. The film turns when it seems as if someone is out to murder the murderer. All right, another weird description, but essentially, this is Scream in the hood. In fact, that should have been the name. Like, actually, that would have been really funny to just call it Scream.
No, it should have been Menace to Scream because it's like 50-50 because it hits that hood movie melodrama.
Yeah.
And then it hits the Scream stuff. We'll get to which I prefer later, but
does it work better as yeah, that's kind of interesting. So Todd, Bizzy Bone. Bizzy Bone and Mack 10. And I thought there was somebody else. Was Kalita Outlaw anybody? Is that just
no one worth noting? Like the two are
sorry, Kalita, if you listen to this show, you're not worth knowing, I guess. Fuck that hoe.
Well,
So tell us a little bit about Bizzy. And
we're gonna start. I don't know if we want to do that first. I think we'll talk about those two after. I don't know. Bizzy's kind of a darker one.
Oh, okay, sweet. All right, we'll talk about the movie first. So this director also directed Bizzy Bone in a movie called Jacked Up. He did also a 99 Uninvited Guest with Mekhi Phifer, which I don't remember a whole lot about, but he was doing certainly bigger movies than this. I think it's fair to say this was a bit of a downgrade in terms of budget when it comes to Uninvited Guest from 99. So I will say, don't expect this to be a Bizzy Bone star vehicle. You might be a little bit disappointed. He might be playing maybe the Drew Barrymore role in this one. To
spoiler Dan, right? Yeah, right,
you can't spoil. There's spoilers are allowed in the hood, Todd. Don't you know these things?
Come on. That's how you get smoked. They don't fuck around with spoilers.
But yeah, not a Bizzy Bone movie. Man, dude, when I say shameless Scream ripoff, this is fucking shameless. This is like you just watched the movie, and by the time it ended, you had your script, and you were like, "We're shooting next weekend." Like, this is fucking shameless. This is also like a couple years before. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Like, it wasn't all like the CG blood. Unfortunately, there's nothing interesting here kill wise. You get some pretty bloodless slit throats, and yeah, it's all pretty mild shit. I'm not a Scream fan, so I can't lie. I'm not a big Scream in the Hood fan either. Unfortunately, I did not love this one, but credit practical. And yeah, I guess maybe you won't necessarily guess the killer. Possibly.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's not that obvious. I mean, they're using Scream as the blueprint. So
I am 100% the opposite. I fucking love this movie. This is everything. Like, it is 100% hood melodrama to the fullest. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna fucking smoke Doughboy, whatever the fuck it is. I was all in. Like, this is good hood shit. And then like the Scream stuff, I didn't care. It was bloodless. I didn't care. It was awesome. It was fun. It made it all work. I cannot believe I did not see this movie in 2003. It still blows my mind. This is the first time I've watched it. 21 years ago. I should have been loving this for years and been champ. This should have been on the first/Tober.
Jesus.
I fucking love. Yeah, this hit me perfectly. The fucking low budget, or sorry, the underground music.
Budget.
No. The underground music. It was good. Slasher says it's a gem. It fucking is. I cannot believe how much I love this. I
Okay.
ordered the fucking. Yes, I bought the DVD. I was hoping it would be here for this, so I could hold it.
And that is pretty amazing because you don't really buy much in the way of DVDs anymore.
No, I was like, if it has a Troma logo, but other than that, no.
Well,
I
yeah.
fucking immediately ordered this. I mean, it's like $6 I got it for. I almost splurged for the $20 brand new one, but we'll see.
Holy shit, Todd. I mean, I figured you might like this one, but I wasn't expecting the ball to be cradled that.
See, because here's the thing. For me, a hood movie should feel hood. This looks like it was shot with a hood camera. We're literally in the fucking hood. This is like, yeah. Yeah. Mack 10, I do enjoy his stuff, and same with Bizzy. I'm a big Bizzy fan. I mean, Bone Thugs and Harmony. But I do really like Mack 10 too. I mean, a couple of his albums. I don't know. The whole we'll get to him at the end. I'll talk about him. But I do. Yeah, this was a good time. Thank you, Ben. Yeah.
You just gave Todd like an early Christmas present. Todd is like in a great mood now because of this movie. Like it enhanced. You gave him it's like you just gave him a kidney. Like that you just Ben just like fucking like cut it out in the ice bucket and just sent it to him. Like I'm surprised, Todd. I was not.
Oh my!
I don't hate this movie. I don't love it. Like, but it's
See, that's the thing. Like the melodrama. That's like hood movies. It's all about the melodrama. I mean, there's a reason, they like Madea movies. I mean, other than Pugs. I know Chris loves them too, but that's a whole nother thing. It's just there's something like I won't even lie. I considered seeing that not another church movie, but I was like, maybe I'll skip that one. I almost did.
I feel like we go back to the video store and you're looking at this, and then you're seeing the Bogus Witch Project, and you went with the bogus or the hip hop witch. You might have went with
that. No, if I would have saw this, I don't know this would have been when I worked at the video. No, that would have been.
I saw this all over like Hollywood Video and Blockbuster, and I think my mom and pop had it too. It was all over the place.
Well, for some reason, this thing escaped me. Yeah, this was a good time. This is a good watch along movie because you can have fun with this. Like I understand why Dan has his complaints. I understand why you laugh at it, but this is a fun fucking movie.
Oh, I didn't hate it. Like now you know what? You know one thing I hated. It's a slasher movie. Don't have fucking shower scenes and not do the nudity, especially in 2003.
Didn't even register me. You know why? Because it felt more hood movie to me, and hood movies you didn't really get a lot of titties.
But you got some. I will grant you that. I mean, but you got a little.
Name a titty in Boys in the Hood. Name a titty in Menace to Society. Name a titty in South Central.
Not in Menace. I swear you have a titty somewhere in Boys in the Hood.
Nope.
It's been a while.
Well, it hasn't been for me.
I swear there's some side titties.
Oh, wait. Well, this is a good question. Thank you, Ben. I was going to bring that up. Dan, you didn't relate to the white dude in the hood?
Oh, I did think it was hilarious. Winston. What is Winston? What is a motherfucker named Winston?
The only other Winston I know is fucking the Black Ghostbuster. What the fuck?
I'm sure that was a callback to that, but I'm like, what is this guy? What's going on here? And then when like the wannabe stepdad's bullying him too, I didn't think that was pretty funny. Or where he tried to fight the guy at the barbecue. That guy is the most fucking like it's very obvious like that he's like it's a red herring. I mean, come on, like it's so fucking obvious. But I don't know. I mean, your enthusiasm makes me want to like it more. It just doesn't connect.
Well, I'm gonna just warn you now. A lot of these hood because I like the hood melodrama. I do.
Yeah.
So
the acting, the chops of Bizzy really sells it.
This is like my gold standard of these movies right now. This is like Well, it doesn't combine them. It's just fucking awesome. That's all I can say.
They're a little politically incorrect too. Like it has some things going
I love
for
it. Spoiler. They try to blame the white guy for being because the white guys are the serial killers. I was like, makes sense to me.
Yeah, like there were a few moments like that I thought were like, black people don't just like just go around that was funny. It's like, of course you're the serial killer. But I don't know. Again, it's not awful. I'm not sorry I watched it. It was fun enough, but I don't know that I'd ever sit down and watch this one again. But I'm glad you liked it.
I'm waiting. Got to get that DVD so it doesn't have that stupid buzz in the transfer like Tubi had.
Yeah, let's address that. So yeah, if you watch this on Tubi, there's about, I don't know, 30 or 40 seconds of a weird buzz.
It's also on the Roku one because I checked on that one after. Mack 10 has the worst death though. Yeah. Imposter Dan. Speaking of Mack 10,
as a slasher movie, there's like, I don't think any of the deaths are good.
Yeah, see, I think Pugs will have a good time with this. I think Kruger would be very upset.
Kruger will
Pugs,
package pile drive you through your coffee table for making him watch this.
Yeah, Ben points it out. It's right at the reveal to the sound. That was pretty funny. I was like, I figure out what they're saying. See, that's why I got to watch it again, Dan.
Well, get that DVD. I remember seeing this like previewed on many a Hollywood video by 5 Get 5 or whatever they were doing at the time. Like this movie, I saw this movie all the fucking time, all over the place.
I'm surprised I didn't get it in like any of the video store clearances I used to fucking hit. Like even my last video store, I'm shocked. I'm shocked they didn't have it. And if they had it, that I didn't see it. Because if I saw Mack 10 or Bizzy Bone and saw it was a slasher, I of course would have fucking rented it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all over the place. So I saw a lot of the Masterpiece stuff. Now that was it was weird. Like I went to a grocery store and I don't know why, but they'd always have like Masterpiece movies. It'd be all this mainstream shit. It was like, like that end cap sort of thing. And they would have like No Tomorrow, Hot Boys, and like some of the other like movies that he did, which I will say this for Masterpiece, some of those actually had budgets and some actual.
It's funny. That's when I kind of like faded out on those. Like I want the I'm like that with my rap music too. Like I can listen to Ice Cube, but I also like that dirty fucking underground fucking Bloody Mary, or just shit that got pressed 1,000 copies, and that's probably all you'll ever see. So I think it goes back to trauma. I like just weird underground stuff. I always have. So,
yeah.
Trauma broke my brain.
I watched this and I'm like, I knew you would like it. I didn't think it would be as strong of a like.
Why do you, that's probably when I was like, I want this show to go right, and I was still working it out in my brain.
It is a very specific niche though. This is not like you might be pretty upset if you just go into this expecting a masterpiece, because I would say as a slasher it's very blah, but I hear what you're saying and I get that. And I even though I didn't love these movies as much as you, I did enjoy seeing the random ones, like and some really bad ones. Like, do you remember Ski Trippin'?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Ski Trippin', Hairdo You, like it was like an answer to the barbershop movies, I think. Like there is some trash out there.
Yeah, there's some good stuff too out there. All right, before we rate it, well, on this one, let's rate it, then I'll talk Mack 10 and
Todd, yes. I don't want to cut you off because this is totally random, and I don't know if this would count. I haven't thought about this movie probably in 20 years. Fat Beach.
Oh, that's already one on my list. I bought that DVD not too long ago. It's weird. I'll buy hood movies and trauma. Apparently, that's about it on DVD.
That's all. Otherwise,
I don't have any confidence we're ever getting Fat Beach on Blu-ray or 4K.
That might be the Vinegar Syndrome era that you're not even aware of yet, Todd. They're gonna
If it
just
comes, I will be happy. Who's the Man? That's another one I bought on DVD in the same wave. High School High. That's another one that might pop up on Farce. Greg has a weird hatred for John Lovett, so I really got to push that one in. So
yeah. I like High School High. High School High. I mean, Tia Carrera.
I see
Holy shit.
Slasher's rating. Well, Dan, you go first.
All right. So star rating or the iced tea rating.
Well, it can be a different one this time.
I will give this one 2. I didn't hate watching it. It does a lot that pisses me off when it comes to slasher films. But hey, it's Scream in the hood, and I'm not a big Scream guy either. So maybe my opinion doesn't really make a big difference. As far as how hood it is, all right, let's see. So Winston might knock it down a notch. Winston killed the cred a little bit. But I'd still say, yeah, as far as like the hood, I'll give it a 4 in terms of how hood it is.
All right.
It's pretty fucking hood. So
I'm trying, but because I rate on how much I enjoyed this, it's going to happen. I have to give this a 5 out of 5. I love this movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a 5 out of 5 hood too. Slasher Home Video says 3.5 out of 5 good and 5 out of 5 for hood. So
I am shocked.
And Ben, we did see before on Farce. I'm pretty sure.
You did. You absolutely did see before.
But Fear of a Black Hat's another one. Yeah. Eventually. Yeah. So I knew. Thank you, Ben. I'm letting the Last House on the Left thing go now. We're good.
So coming soon on Hood Approved.
Yes.
We're gonna have Fat Beach and the Fat Boys movie, Disorderlies. Does that count? I don't know. It kind of goes with Fat Beach.
Because the word fat. No, we'll figure it out.
The Hood Approved Fatty Show.
Daily Ghost is 5 out of 5 bad Barbies. All right. Well,
have you watched this, Ghost? Don't just go in blind with that 5 out of 5. Come on, Ghost.
All right. Well, I'll talk a little Mack 10. He's a little closer to my age. He's 52 now, still.
Yeah. Let's give us the rundown on these rappers.
Mack 10, born and raised in Inglewood, California, not far from here. He was a member of the Queen Street Bloods in Inglewood. First appearance, Ice Cube's Bootlegs and B-Sides. On the What Can I Do remix, which is a remix off the previous album from Lethal Injection. Just a little introduction for him. And then right after that, Mack 10 Faux Life, the self-titled album dropped, 95. That thing like blew up, especially in California, but I know it sold well. It was on Ice Cube's label. Yeah, he had a couple other albums. Like he's had like probably 5 or 6 albums, but that like golden era would be like the 90s run. Those 3 albums, the self-titled,
still active today, or
he is. He's like on the touring. He's like does the touring stuff now, like a lot of them. He released an album. Last one was 2009. It was right around there. I had Glasses Malone. It wasn't probably. It was all right. At that point, I was, the West Side Connection. Yes, that I was going to bring up. That was his group with, Ice Cube's group with him and Dub C. But like, that's like the one group that hasn't, other than NWA, but the one group that hasn't come back together. And there's like a beef with Ice Cube and Mack 10. So, So it doesn't look like, because Ice Cube will perform with Dub C. Dub C will perform with Mack 10. They even just had like we're just on a concert here, but they won't perform together. There's like
so what you're telling me is there's not going to be any Mack 10 and Are We There Yet too?
No. But yeah, no, their whole So I'm not going to get into the whole beef. It's out there if you want to know. Also interesting fact though was that he married T-Boz from TLC. Married her for like 3 years in the early 2000s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That was that was like weird and out of nowhere. But you had Tupac with Salt or Tretch with Peppa. That was yeah, whole thing. It
He
was a
had a
weird
little
era.
bit of a B movie run too.
Tretch.
Yeah,
He still is. Ben just mentioned he saw him in a Chupacabra movie recently. Yeah, Tretch is
yeah.
still going. Yeah, I know a lot of these guys. He went chasing waterfalls. Are like, yeah. See, I know you're not into that, but yeah, a lot of them are doing like YouTube interviews. Not all of them are snitching on themselves for killing Tupac or anything dumb, but um, yeah. But Mac 10 tours and stuff a lot. Busy Bone. Okay, this is a different one. Like Busy Bone, Love Bone, Thugs and Harmony. I could talk the origin, but I think there's something that like most people don't know. And I actually printed this out so I can get this right. Um, well, he's actually he's only about a month younger than me. He was born a couple September 76. Okay, where's the okay? I mean, most people know. Well, he's a member of Bone Thugs and Harmony, but he was born in Columbus, Ohio, in '81. Four 4-year-old Bizzy and his two sisters were abducted by their mother's boyfriend while their mother was at work and held captive for over 2 years. Bizzy recalls that at
Jeez.
first he did not know he had been kidnapped and was made to believe his mother and grandmother were dead. During this
Jesus.
right, during this time they were abducted, he and his sisters lived in many homes, apartments, cars, motels, all of them in northern Oklahoma. He and his sisters were often beaten, beat, yeah, essayed. In 1983, the family had been living in an Indian reservation in Oklahoma for about a year and a half. A babysitter saw his photo at the end of the made-for-TV film Adam about about the producer and creator of America's Most Wanted's John Walsh's abducted son and called the police, resulting in him and his sisters return to their family.
Jesus, I didn't know anything about that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because I don't know if you ever seen the end of the Adam TV movie.
I have, but
They
obviously I
showed all
wouldn't
the missing kids that were,
yeah.
and well, they found Busy Bone because of that. Um,
Oof.
I know later in the 2000s, late 2000s, Busy was actually on an episode of America's Most Wanted too. So I was kind of,
Oh, he was the wanted, or he
no,
was
no, no. He was like on there with Jim
talking
Law.
about a
Yes,
case.
yes.
Okay. Just
But
make like
yeah. So most people don't know that. That's like, yeah. That's why I thought that was no one. I mean, I get why you don't talk about it, but that's yeah. I mean, there of course, yeah, Bone, like how they signed with Ruthless. They had actually there was a concert in Cleveland, and I believe it was Crazy got to rap for Easy, and Easy liked what he heard, and basically they packed up, like came to LA and tried to find Easy. I know they like hit up Tone Loc's house and like 4 a.m. He was like, "Get the fuck out!" There's like tons of stories, but like they got here, got to California, got to Easy, got signed, and yeah, they got 2 albums, with E before he passed. Um, yeah, I mean they're one of the greatest rap groups, they're ever. I know there's Outkast is always another one that gets thrown out there, but I mean like definitely, and they 100% changed the genre. Some of it they didn't get it all, and it's not the greatest, but like Bone got it, and yeah. There you go. So now you know a little bit about Busy.
that's a hell of a success story to go from that to one of the top rap groups in the world.
He's had his issues. He's had his beefs with the 3-6 Mafia that could
Now
have
is
ended
he
badly.
still he's still somewhat active, or
He's on the touring circuit too. Him, he doesn't.
okay.
Wait, right now I don't think he's touring with Bone. With the 5 members, there's beefs here and there, and you'll get sometimes you'll get 3, sometimes you'll get 2 or 4, sometimes you'll get all of it. It's yeah. You never know. I think Busy was complaining they didn't bring him on tour this time, but he had his substance abuse problems for a minute, so I
Okay.
think I always worry about taking him on tour.
Yeah, well, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really excited about tackling some of this. I see the chat is hyped up for more hood approved episodes, and yeah, yeah. I'm kind of thinking in my head like what to pair up, and what counts, because you did have some movies that just starred a rapper, and I don't know if we're going to count some of those.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I look forward to the Fats episodes very much. So, that's probably going to be like that some random show where we get 100,000 views. It'll be like the one. It'll be the Fat Boys and Coolio are going to take us to the promised land.
I can expose everyone to Domino's Battle of the Bones. Oh,
Ooh.
Dan's gonna have a hard time.
That sounds like that's not a YouTube episode.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, okay. Well, we will see then. So yeah, guys, be sure on YouTube to leave a comment. Let us know what you might want to see covered here on Hood Approved. Remember, cross genre. We did horror tonight, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be horror. Yeah. Let us know. I'm eager to do this. Gridlock. That sounds like a blast. Been a long time. Also, of course, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. All starts at just $1, and we appreciate it since we're not monetized. We appreciate all you patrons very much, and join the free Discord as well. That's all in the description. Sorry. And on that note, I think that's all I've got. Todd, anything to close?
No, that's it. Stay hood.
Come again hard while drinking your juice in the hood.